Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little bit different for me. So I've been colouring a while now and I have quite a few old WIPs. And the problem when you've been colouring a little while and you've got WIPs that have been sat around for a while, your colouring changes, your colouring improves, and let's be honest, you put stuff away and then you can't remember which pencils you used. So this series is called Cracking the WIP. So we are working on colouring pages and I just thought it might be a good kind of guide for you guys on how to maybe pull out those pages that you feel you can't finish for some reason or another. So taking this page, it's not my best fur, so I'm not particularly pleased with the page. I can't quite remember which pencils I used. I'm thinking they were either my Creyart or my Brutfuner. So I've pulled out similar colours. We're going to do our best with that. Obviously this isn't the way I do fur now, but I'm going to try and stick to the way that I've done it so far and just continue it on. I've not done a background, so I'm going to add a background to it and I'm just going to finish him off, get him done, crack the WIP. This page I think I started this last October for last Halloween, so it's a nice year old at this point, so we'll have to see what we can do with him. Now, I had 3 blues sat in my tub to one side of my desk, and I'm assuming this is why I couldn't remember what they were for, that they were in fact maybe for this page, because I do that sometimes. So I've got 3 Brutfuners that I'm about 80% sure are the right colours for the blue. So in my Brutfuner I've got 020 Sky Blue, 003 Cerulean Blue and 178 Pale Blue. And if they're not, we're going to go with it anyway because that is what I've got. And to be honest, I've only got this last layer of blue, so it's not so bad. And no, his hair's probably going to have to be blue as well. So it's not so bad anyway if it's a slightly different colour. For the pink, I went with that age old of... I went through my Brutfuners in my box and I pulled out the ones I'd sharpened. I only sharpen as I use. I'm not one of these that goes through, so when I get a set I don't sharpen all my pencils. So say this Creyart hasn't been used by me, so it's still got its factory blunt end, so that works quite well for me. I pulled these 4 out. Now I am particularly sure this pinky purple colour, this rosy pink, is not correct. Do I have some scrap paper that's going to be particularly useful? Yes, I do. I'm pretty sure that that is not one of the pinks used. But that I might be able to get... Yeah, I think I've been quite lucky here and my sharpening laziness has saved the day. That ready version might not be quite right, but I think it'll blend in and I'll get away with it. I think we might have looked out. So in the Brutfuner, I've got Peach 121, which is the reddest peach I've ever seen in my life, 012 Pale Pink and 157 Shallow Pink. And I'm again quite certain that that might be the right pencil kinds. As you guys know, I now write my combos and my pages down because I share them with you each month, so at least I won't fall into this trap again, hopefully. Actually, I've just realised I normally write them down when I've finished them, so I probably should change that technique. So I even didn't finish this layer of blue for here. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit. There we go, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to use my gel crayons, of course, for this massive background because I'm not living that life. So I'm going to take my darker blue. I'm gonna work on some of this first. Just get some colour in here. like everyone, I think because I've left it so long, for this page, I'm not going for perfect. I just want it out of my life. I know that sounds very sad, but I'm sure some of you can relate to me with how you get with some of these old WIPs that, you know, especially when you don't really colour the same and you're not particularly keen. He was such a cute bee as well. It's a shame, really. So I'm just loads of little furry stripes, making him as dense as I can. Am I even on camera? There we go. I'm going to pop the darker blue in where most of the darker grey has been placed. Work over from there. You will need to keep sharpening your pencils. Nearly chucked it on the floor, typical. Just keep sharpening. Nope, a little bit more. There we go. Your pencils. I have, of course, as always, got some paper underneath here, so I'm not printing through, because I do tend to put too much pressure on when I'm doing fur. Habit. Just colouring over some of the darkest areas just to get them to be blue. Elbow on the table, better for your arm. Obviously, for the sake of the video, I will keep my page straight, but you're better off kind of moving it to the direction that you want to colour your stripes in. It will be easier. And a brush just to remove any excess. Right, medium blue, this cerulean blue. Sharpen that a little bit. I'm going to work this into that colour now. Same again. To fluff out these little arms a bit. You will usually have to take breaks with this technique. It's not fun on your arms, to be honest. Either that or go slower than me. Tend to be impatient when I'm colouring fur, and I get to that point where I'm sick of doing little stripes. I want him to just be furry and done. Okay, and then I've got my light blue, this pale blue, sharpen that as well. I'm just going to use that to kind of pad out where I might have left white on the page, kind of fill in his fluff. I think I've gotten away with that. I think I'd literally left the 3 blues in a little pot all this time. Keep wondering what they were for, and knowing they were left there for some reason and therefore not putting them away. So I do think they're the right colour. Right, his blue body. That's how I do the fur. I think I want, he's still looking quite grey in here. I just need to cover up a bit more of that, bit there. Bit there. Not sure whether this darker blue is the right colour though. Don't think there's any of this darker blue in the other layers, so I'm going to add it in. Must have swapped a blue out there somewhere at some point. This is why you should have a little note of your colours tapped to your page. Don't be me, having to fix your WIPs later on because you forgot. Right, there we go. So his next layer would be pink. This is where we're hoping we've got the right pinks. This time, because there's a lot less grey in the pink area, I'm going to start with my palest colour, this shallow pink. I'm going to fluff that outwards. Build that in. And I just thought, with it being October, he was quite an appropriate WIP to tackle. It is a very cute... Did I mention what book I was working in? This is the Camilla D'errico Cute and Creepy. It is a very cute book. This it is a fun Halloweeny one if you like the cuter kind of pictures. Whew. We'll have a little arm rest. Sharpen my pencil. I'm pretty sure this is why he never got finished, to be honest. The sheer effort required for the amount of... Because it's a big book, is this? The big pages. I'm a bit lazy. I like little pages. I'm less likely to get fed up and abandon it halfway through like this one, to be honest. Need to be careful, I'm kind of pulling my blue in by accident there. Right, we'll go for that middle pink, that pale pink. Just want to brush off the dust. Don't smear it in, and I'm just going to add that a little bit less, a bit more sparse than the underlayer. Trying to keep that the visual of the little lines so he looks furry. Right, and then last but not least, peach. That's never seen peach. It's a red, it's definitely a red. A little bit less again because it is quite a bit darker, this one. Might just keep him under the chin where this grey is. And add some down here because I don't think this red was a part of the original blend, is the idea I'm getting. So we're going to pretend he is. Just add it in. Right, okay, so I had coloured his tail in. I just used a couple of greys that I now don't have any idea what colour they were. The set I've got sat here is my Creyart, so I'm just gonna pull out some greys and we're just gonna make it work. Because like I say, I do not, for the life of me, I'm sorry for the noise, remember. using, or from what set. It's probably from my Brutfuner originally, but probably makes sense to just pick some greys. Right, my little bit of paper. Let's see what we've got. Too Cool. That one I might be able to make work. Oh, sorry guys. There we go, sorry. I'm just matching. So this one's too Cool a grey from what I've used. That one as well, I think. Whereas that one is okay, and I think that's quite a good match. I've got a black, oh no, an off black and a black. I think I prefer the off black, and I think what I'll do to make it match is I'm going to add that into what I'd already done. So this is the combo I've just created. I think that's going to be close enough to get away with. Gone for a warmer Frencher kind of tone. We've got dark grey, off black and a warm grey. They are from the Creyart set. I think they'll be close enough to get away with. I haven't used these ones before, so I'm going to sharpen them because you want rid of that outside kind of cheap shipping layer that they have on. They don't perform very nice with that on them. And we're going to do the little bolts, and as always, your caps, they don't help with colour picking with cheaper sets. You're better off just either having a swatch or swatching some out. I'm going to lay that lighter grey, the warm grey, in across the middle. Of both of those little bolts. And then I'm going to take that dark grey, my medium tone, I'm going to bring that up from the bottom. Down from the top. Same again. And then that off black just underneath, starting darker, feathering and blending that out till it disappears into the other colours, so you've not got a harsh line. I just want that on the underneath edges. Give a bit of shadow to that. And then we'll do his face. So this time I'm going to start with my darker colour, my off black. Treat him like I would any other face. I'm going to add my shadows in the sides, contour that face so it looks like it comes around. Darker in underneath here, depth around the eyes, blend that out and fade that. And just a little bit of depth on those lids. Same this side. And then my medium grey, that dark grey, I'm then going to bring that in from there, down and around, kind of leaving these lighter areas for some highlight. I'm going to bring that under the hairline and down the middle of the face. Just filling that in. And a little bit around those eyelids. So he's not exactly the same as his tail, but it's not the end of the world. I'm then going to take that lighter grey, that warm grey, just removing the ones I haven't used so I can write them down this time. Right, and I'm gonna pop that in my highlight areas. And just bring that into those other colours a little bit just to mould them together. And it's a warmer grey, so it'll just warm those tones up as well a little bit. So I'm going to take that middle grey again, that dark grey, because I've just got a bit of a harsh line there that I don't want. Just going to blend that in a little. I forget how opaque the Creyart can be. Just giving that a couple of layers now until it gets rid of most of the white of the page. Okay, I'm going to take my blue again, and I might just take that dark blue, that sky blue, sharpen that a bit more, and I'm just going to add a little bit of blue to this eye in here and in here. Bit of blue. Don't even know if you can see that on camera, but I assure you it's more blue than it looks. It's a bit later in the day where I'm working today, so the light's not as good as it usually is, I'm afraid, guys. Sorry about that. Right, his hair. It's quite a dark shade, so I'm going to go with the blue rather than the pink. I'm going to start with my darker colour, the sky blue. I'm going to treat it like I would any other hair, and I'm going to flick it. And for him, he's a spiky do, so we're flicking up and out, starting from the base of the scalp. Working in the direction of the hair. I'm gonna lay my darker colours around the base. Turning your pencil and then sharpening when it needs. Bit more space as we come up. Then into my next blue, my cerulean blue. Building that next layer on top. Coming a bit higher up this time. And then we'll try that pale blue. Sorry for the sniffling there. Right, with a blue dote, a little bit more of that darker blue into the base. And I'm just going to add a little bit more of the darker blue, we'll sharpen that. These fluffy arms look a little bit pale, I think. Just want a little bit of the darker blue in the top of them. Right. Okay. What to do with these little shoes? I'm going to do a green yellow background, I think, just to contrast with the pink and blue. So, shoes. Are we going to go mad and add a purple? Why not? Let's go over the top. I've grabbed 3 purples from the Creyart set: violet, lilac and wisteria. We'll sharpen those and we'll try them. See what kind of a blend they make. I think those two middle are too similar. I think I need a paler purple. Let's see if you'll do. 2 pink. Sorry for the rooting. Probably should have sorted this out better, more purple, I'll go, It's the only problem sometimes with these more budget sets, it's getting colours that are pale enough. Probably should have brought some pastels up with me. Oh, okay, might have a viable candidate there. No, too blue. Yes, right. So we are violet, lilac and lavender. Little shoes. Right, with my violet, these are Creyarts again. I'm going to add the darker parts of these shoes in. And then the lilac, work that in. Just leave some highlight areas. And then the lavender. And just going back in with that violet just to deepen up the dark areas. We have shoes. Woo. Oops. Right, background it is. I'm going to bring you back out, release my clips, I've got some bigger pages here to go underneath there. Like I said, I'm going to use my gel crayons dry with a craft brush. So I've got a few brushes and my very dirty cutting boards. I'm going to use the other side that I've just realised isn't any cleaner. I must have already done that once. Let's find a clean spot, we'll turn it round. There we go. Piece of paper for when I get to, I just want to put that right up into the seam of the page. Don't get it on the opposite side. I'm going to use my tray to hold that there. Right, now all we have to do is pick some colours. So I've got a few different brands. I'll have a think about this. See how too intense. So we either can go very bright, or my distress crayons tend to be a bit more mellow. With him being quite bright, maybe mellow is the way to go. Yeah, maybe. Do we go mellow, do we go bright? Oh, probably going to make a mistake here and we're going to go bright. I'm going to go Halloween bright. That's what we're going to do. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Live on the wild side. Right. So, just going to pop my 3 colours on my board off to one side. I have like a rough textured board that picks up the crayon really nicely. Got that dark green, kind of a limey green, and quite an intense yellow. As always, I would probably suggest trying that on a piece of paper before doing anything crazy, because that is quite bright. Tap it out. You don't want to leave splodges on your page, and we're just going to lay this down. We'll have some patches of yellow. These are the new Shuttle art set that I got. Tend to be quite nice, vibrant, crazy colours. I think I'm having the patch over here as well. Not bothering with these little background pieces. Just gonna leave them to add texture to my background and colour it as a whole. Build that yellow up a little bit. Make it a bit more intense to cover up that little patch I've accidentally created there that's quite bright. Didn't tap my brush off quite enough. Right, we're then going to do that kind of middle, quite bright green. Find a spare bit of board to tap that off onto. Being a bit more careful now because I'm coming into the drawing itself, and I do want to try and avoid too much colour on him and kind of under his wings. I'm just going to put that light green all the way around the areas with the yellow to try and transition kind of yellow to green to dark green. At least that's the idea in my head. We will see. Yeah. Put it in the yellow, whoopsies, tap it off. And I don't think I want any dark green touching him particularly, so I'm just going to work around. I'll do his feet and his butt, being very careful when I'm going over those shoes. I don't want to smudge purple onto my page. They are very, very beautiful, simple, easy, fabulously quick background technique, and I think that's why I love them so much. So I'm bringing that round that yellow as well, and like same thing, I'm going to bring him that pale green just around him. Add a bit more green to my board. You really don't use a lot of crayon. And again, very careful. Sorry guys, bring that down. Should have had my camera a bit further out for this, I think, really, but it's a pain to lift that up. It just judders you around everywhere. Right, go around the last of his wing. I do find this easier and quicker than the soft pastel a lot of the time. Also found with the soft pastel, if you've got fingerprints on your page, it just will not go over them. Very irritating. So you've also got to pop a glove on to hold your page down and make sure you've not got oils on your page before you start. It just does not want to lay over the top. Right, so I've just got numerous areas. I'm going to try this green. I'm not going to be crazy about it. I'm going to wipe the yellow off that. I'm going to put that dark green on there. I'm going to do a little test. Yep, that'll do. And we're going to add some green very, very gently. Do not want, you know, big smudges of darkness on here that I can't then blend in. I'm just going to work that kind of into the other colours a little bit. There's that. Got a patch we've left ready here. And here. Okay, I'm not sorry that I went for the brighter colours. It's maybe a little bit painful to the eyeballs, but I do think they kind of complement my psychedelic bee slightly, so pleased enough. That looks way more yellow on camera than it does in life. Yuck, that looks patchy as anything on camera, but it actually looks better from where I am. So you may just have to trust me on that a little bit. More of a paler green, I think. Just can't can't get over how different that looks on camera to how it looks normal. That looks very, very yellow on there. Right, got this little patch of white around his cheek screw and here. Okay, there we go, my psychedelic background. And then for his wings, I've got what might be a bad idea. I've got these Nouveau embellishment mousses that I haven't managed to have a play with. Adds metallic dimensional details to your craft project. So I haven't even opened this one. I'm gonna see if I can peel that off rather than have to stick my finger in it, but yes, I used my teeth like a savage. Right, so it's this very funky looking, crazy stuff. Haven't used this before. Saw it on Crafting with Kay's, Colouring with Kay's channel, because she has all the fun glittery stuff, and it's like a shimmer paste. I'm going to try it with a cotton pad, and I'm going to dip it in a little bit. Ooh, a bit more. Ooh, it is a thick paste. And as I always tell you to, I'm just gonna try that. Just gonna try that out first. Ooh, I like it. Right. I'm gonna try and wrap that over the end of my finger. And we're gonna see if we can. So I've kind of wrapped it around the end of my finger. Try and get a bit of a detail to it. And I need to only get it. I've just decided this would have been better with one of those little eyeshadow brushes. I have a little paintbrush. Not because it's not laying nicely, but because I'm kind of worried I'm going to get it. Oh yeah, okay. Yet again, am I on film? There we go. Brush it is. Failing that, I do think a little eyeshadow applicator would have worked. Those little sponge applicators. You just want something a little bit kind of finer than this, I think, to not end up with it on your page. Thinking I should have done these blue. Maybe. No. Ooh, shiny. Fun. Right. One more wing. Lord knows how long this stuff takes to dry, if it ever even does. We will find out. Got these from the craft stash because they were cheaper than Amazon. I like it because you don't have to add water to it. So it's of course not really warping my page because it's not horrendously damp. And I reckon a tub of that should last you, well, it would last you forever, but I'm assuming it is the kind of stuff that is going to dry out on you, unfortunately, I would imagine. So do get your lid back on it. It's the other reason I hadn't opened it until I was actually going to use it, because I didn't want to waste it. It's not particularly cheap. Let's see if we get that to shimmer. Can you see that shine? It's too shiny. Huh. So it's got a real shimmery pearlescence to it. And we'll have to wash that brush now. Right. Let's see if I can bring you out a little bit. Show you my... He does look very yellow on camera. Look at my... This is the real life that we're living when we're filming. I've got like craft project stuff everywhere, just everywhere. So yeah, in life he looks more of a mellow yellow than that, to be honest. You can see I've managed to keep my next page nice and clean, and if I bend that over, same thing applies to the back of that one. So why I do really like those gel crayons. They're just not particularly messy, which is nice. So that is how I crack a WIP. He's not perfect. He's still very cute and I do like him. I might colour his mouth in with some black glitter gel pen. I'm undecided, 50-50. And you can't really see it, but I promise that his eyes do have blue in them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Like I say, I will, if you enjoy this kind of video, fixing your WIPs, then I will continue them on. Give me a thumbs up so I know whether to. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, and you like the content, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.